the top focus today, it's about flooding and landslides in the Indonesian province of West Sumatra, which have killed 26 people and at least 6 are missing. Bridges, schools and hundreds of homes have been damaged by torrential rains that have pounded down since Thursday. Here's a report.
Torrential rains have killed dozens in Indonesia's West Sumatra province as flooding and landslides inundate the area, authorities said on Monday. Bridges and schools have been wiped out while roads have collapsed into rivers. 280 acres of farmland and nearly 700 homes have been damaged by the weather that has pounded down since Thursday, according to the country's disaster mitigation agency. Abdul Malik from the National Search and Rescue Agency says teams are on the ground to find those still missing.
The search and evacuation process is entering its 5th day on the southern coast. We are deploying teams in 3 sectors, which will include areas in Lunga and Sutera. We are currently still looking for 6 people.
Regional Disaster Mitigation Agency Secretary Yuskadi spoke to Reuters about ongoing aid efforts, with at least 39,000 people said to have been affected.
Distribution of aid has arrived, including 500 packages of hygiene kits, blankets, tents, mattresses, water purifiers and instant food.
With more rain expected, the agency has warned of possible further damage. Indonesia's rainy season began in January, with the BMKG Meteorological Agency forecasting a first quarter peak, particularly on the islands of Java and Sumatra.
Meanwhile, climate activist Greta Thunberg, accompanied by about 40 protesters, blocked entrances to the Swedish parliament on Monday, calling for climate justice. The activists advocated sweeping reforms to tackle climate disasters. Thunberg said this protest is an act of resistance against the fact that the ongoing deadly and destructive system gets to continue. The 21-year-old activist lamented the persistent lack of response to their calls for climate action, emphasizing the repeated pleas of the climate justice movement.
The climate justice movement has for decades been repeating the same message over and over again, like a broken record, and we feel like we are not being heard. We are still moving in the wrong direction. We are still heading to a climate catastrophe and making lives even worse for those who are already suffering the consequences of the climate crisis and other social crises.
A group of scientists from different research disciplines were also there to support the action. Thunberg shot to fame as the face of climate activism in 2018 after she started staging weekly protests outside the parliament building. Last summer, she was fined by a Swedish court for blocking traffic during an environmental protest at an oil facility. She had already been fined for the same offence previously in Sweden. Now, with declining groundwater levels and diminishing reservoirs, India's Bengaluru city, known as the country's Silicon Valley, is facing an unprecedented water crisis. The city's residents are short of nearly 1,680 million litres of water every day, meaning they get just about half the water they need daily. Often dubbed as the IT hub of India, Bengaluru's water crisis is primarily fueled by 3 factors: depleting groundwater, inadequate infrastructural planning, and the influence of water tanker operations. The city is also hit by poor rains. Residents complain that water tankers are taking advantage of the scarcity by charging high prices. Previously, they used to charge around $7 to $10 for 1,000 litres of water. But now, the price has shot up to almost $25. Experts say that the rapid influx and exploding population in Bengaluru are a big cause for the current situation. According to the studies done by the Indian Institute of Science, the IT hub has lost 79% of water bodies and 88% of its greenery in the last 4 decades. On the other hand, area covered by concrete has increased 11-fold. Amid the crisis, the state government has taken some measures to address the issue. The government has said they would seize unregistered water tankers if their owners fail to register with the authorities. Officials have also been instructed to utilize unused milk tankers for water supply. The state chief minister has also earmarked $67 million to tackle this issue. Meanwhile, bananas are set to get more expensive due to climate change. That's right, experts say climate impact poses an enormous threat to the fruit supply, also compounding the impact of fast-spreading diseases. The World Banana Forum is set to meet in Rome on Tuesday to tackle challenges facing the fruit. The UN group brings together industry stakeholders, including retailers, producer countries, exporters, and research institutions. Stores in the UK have recently experienced banana shortages due to the sea storms. Retailers in several supermarkets said their supplies were delayed due to the storms. But while banana supplies can cope with short-term weather events like this, experts are concerned about the growing threats from a warming world and from the diseases that are spreading in its wake. This could have a huge impact as the banana is the world's most exported fruit. The UK alone imports around 5 billion bananas every year, with 90% sold through the major supermarkets. Apart from severe weather impacting production, bananas are sensitive to temperature rises, which could wipe out crops in some locations. Now, perhaps the biggest immediate threat is the fact that rising temperatures are helping to spread disease. The one causing the most worry is a fungal infection, which has moved from Australia and Asia to Africa and now to South America. Once a plantation is infected, the fungus kills all banana trees and it is extremely hard to get rid of. It is also mutated to threaten the Cavendish, the world's favorite banana variety. Experts say the fungus can be spread by flooding and by strong winds. So adverse weather will disseminate the disease much faster than if we had more normal weather patterns. Producers are also facing pressures from rising costs of fertilizers, energy and transport, as well as problems in finding enough workers. Taken together with the impacts of climate change on supply, prices in the United Kingdom and elsewhere are likely to go up and stay up. Well, that's all the updates we have for you on Climate Tracker, but news and updates from around the world do continue on this bulletin, so stay with us. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.